Hey everyone, welcome back. Okay, so this is my should you melt this video for Loaves week last week, which I finished through yesterday. I do have a few empties which I'm going to talk about, so I'm excited that I did actually make some empties, but granted it's not a lot because it was Loaves week. So the stuff I only finished one large loaf that was not a full loaf to begin with, and then a few of the Bitty Betties from L3, and then a couple smaller loaf formats, I think. So I have a handful of empties here, and then I have a ton of non-empties. This is everything I did melt over here. Some of it's off camera, you can't see all of it, but I did melt a lot of different scents, and so excited to jump in. There were definitely some I didn't get to, but part of that was I had a couple days that I wasn't feeling well this past week, so I didn't quite melt as much, and then on those 2 days. And then I also did repeat some scents just to try to get a better sense of some of them. So anyhow, let me start with my empties. And so for my empties, the first one here is a Bitty Betty from L3. This is Radiant Red Maple, Palo Santo Sugar Cookie Royale. I feel like I mostly got the Palo Santo and the Sugar Cookie Royale. This smelled very strong on cold. On warm, it was good, but like it wasn't as strong as I expected it to be, considering how strong it was on cold. So it was good. Not sure that I got the like Radiant Red Maple. It was a decent scent, medium performance, but probably not anything I would necessarily seek out again. I finished this Bitty Betty in Chocolate Amber Palo Santo Vanilla Balsam. I'm not sure what Chocolate Amber smells like. I feel like, again, for this one, I got just the like Palo Santo Vanilla Balsam. That Chocolate Amber could have been in there because the amber could have given it kind of like a warm kind of type scent, which I think you can get from Palo Santo as well. This one was really good. This was nice and strong, and it was very long lasting, and that Vanilla Balsam really is the scent that kind of lingered for quite some time. So this lasted, I think, pretty much almost all day. I had one little tiny cube left in the Sweet Lavender Mallow. So I actually don't think this was in my melting basket, but like when I was going in my closet, I realized I had just one cube left in this. I was like, let me throw out my warmer. So I put this one little chunk left in here, this one little cube in here, in one warmer in my bedroom, and then I put something else in the other warmer, which I don't remember what it was now. This isn't the strongest lavender from her. I don't know, like her Sweet Lavender is an herbal lavender and I really like it, but this just wasn't like a really strong performer. For some reason, I don't have this one dated. I don't know why I didn't date it. So I definitely have other lavender blends I prefer from L3. And then from Vintage Chic Scents, I did finish off this loaf. This is Nellie Rose and Cookie Monster. And Nellie Rose, this is basically just a strawberry bakery type scent. Unfortunately, this one was really light. It was just below halfway left, maybe about here. I melted it one time, let's see, I think in my bedroom, and I was like, kind of light. I could smell it, but it was fairly light, like maybe a 4 or 5 out of 10. Then I was like, let me just finish it up and let me like fill up all my warmers in like my living room and office area. Again, it was fairly light. Like I kind of had to search for it when I went into the room. I could smell it, but just not as strong. And I'm pretty sure this one was stronger when I first got it. So Vintage Chic Scents does have a pretty decent shelf life. I do think for some of my older stuff, it is starting to get lighter. A lot of it is quite a bit lighter than it used to be. So it has a good shelf life, but don't hold on to it for too long. Okay, from Dessas, I finished one of her little, like one of the little loaves. That was from a custom order I did. This was from 2020. This is Vanilla Noel, which is her Vanilla Bean Noel and Apple Orchard. This was just a really pretty, kind of outdoorsy apple with like that Vanilla Bean Noel. Very strong performer. With Dessas, some of her scents kind of lean like L3, where they throw really strong and they fizzle out after maybe the 4 to 5 hour mark. This was one of those that did fizzle out after a little while, but it was still really good. And then I finished this one. This is one of those that I melted in 2 different melting sessions. This is La Patisserie Blueberry Lemon Bars. I love her La Patisserie. The Blueberry Lemon Bars is one scent note that she has. It could have been a blend, but this was a custom I did last year. A custom blend in a mini loaf that I blended these 2 scents together. But the lemon in this leans cleaner lemon. So this blend just didn't quite sit right or how I'd hoped it would be because of that cleaner note. But this lasted all day. And then I had melted it throughout my living room, and then I only had a little bit left. So the next day I put it in my bedroom and bathroom because I was like, I just want to use it up. All right, so that's my empties. Not very much. I'm going to put them back in here just to kind of move them out of the way. And then for the non-empties, I have quite a bit. So some of these I've talked about before, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time. This is Peppermint, Rosemary, Mint, Vanilla Balsam. Very strong peppermint, really good scent. The Vanilla Balsam, you do get that, but it doesn't overpower the scent. This is really like a minty, outdoorsy Christmas tree type scent. Beautiful scent, strong thrower. My dad even, I had that going. He's like, what are you melting? He's like, it's burning my eyes. So I guess the peppermint was kind of bothering his eyes. Very strong, but that's L3's peppermint. Her peppermint is very strong. Lavender, Don't Cross Streams. Love, love, love this one. It is just, I think it still continues to be my favorite lavender blend from hers. I had done this blend in a my custom order last year, and I finished up that bag like pretty quickly. Absolutely love it. Just that Don't Cross Streams, which is a nice vanilla bakery, just adds a beautifulness to her lavender. I don't know. So I don't know if someone ever blended that before I did. It's highly likely because it's not that original of a scent, but I absolutely love it. I'm not necessarily going by vendor. Let me see, because I think they're all just kind of mixed up in here. But this is Warm Vanilla Sugar, Let Them Eat Cake, Whole Vanilla Bead from L3. Beautiful, beautiful scent. The Warm Vanilla Sugar was definitely the strongest on this, but it was rounded out by the Let Them Eat Cake and Whole Vanilla Bean. I really did like this one. This was a nice, strong performer. That Warm Vanilla Sugar lasts in your warmer like 24 hours plus easily. So a lot of times I find the other scent notes die out and that Warm Vanilla Sugar lingers, but I don't mind because I just love that one. From Swanky, I melted some more of this Holiday Cheer. So this was not a completely full loaf. I'd melted it once or twice before. So I melted more of this and I'm about halfway through. This is Masala Chai, Touch of Eggnog, Sugar Cookie, Cozy Vanilla, Cream, and Mrs. Claus Cookies. This is basically a very sweet, creamy, kind of vanilla bakery with a little bit of that chai spice. This is definitely not overly spicy. This definitely leans more on the creamy, sweet, delicious bakery, but a very strong performer. I really am enjoying my Swanky, and I placed a large order in her last pre-order. I melted some of the Central Park Snow Globe from Vintage Chic Scents. I definitely want to use this one up. This is Peppermint Cream Noel, and she has that nice strong nose clearing peppermint. This is a good scent. I don't think it's as strong as had I used it when it was fresh, but because her peppermint is so strong, this is still fairly strong, but I definitely need to kind of keep working on that one because I have a whole nother loaf in that scent. Let's see, I'm going to skip that one for now. Okay. Oh, you know what? Did I melt this one? Yeah, I did. Life is But a Dream, Embeds, and Jackie O's Grin Overpour. So this is a lavender blend. This is lavender, vanilla, cotton candy frosting, marshmallow, birthday cake, Noel. Again, this was on the lighter side. It's definitely more creamy bakery with just a touch of lavender. And I feel like when I was melting it, that's kind of what it was. Maybe light to medium. So I do really need to try use it my older Vintage Chic Scents. I mean, that's true of all my older wax. Okay, so this is nothing against Kirby or any particular vendor. Try to use your wax within a year or two. Try not to hold on to things forever. I think a couple years is still really good, but when you start inching towards 3, 4, or 5 years like me, you kind of are starting to push it a little bit. Okay. So the Pharmacist's Daughter, I melted maybe about half of this little mini loaf. This is Candy Cane Lane. This is Warm Vanilla Sugar, Palo Santo, and Candy Cane Cupcakes. This is really light for me. I can smell it, but it's very faint, kind of like I barely get the candy cane. It's kind of a faint cupcake and a faint warm vanilla sugar. This blend sounds like an amazing blend, but it's just not really strong and just doesn't come out like I really hoped it would. So I got this in December. This should be well cured, but so I would say this is not the norm for me with the Pharmacist's Daughter, but this definitely, I could smell it, but just not as strong as I would expect it to be based on the scent notes. I really hoped that one would have performed a little bit better. I'm sorry, I'm going to move this up. so I can reach it easier. So this is another L3 Pink Sugar Cookies birthday cake. I was not sure how this one was going to do because that pink sugar was very, very light in this on cold, but actually when I warmed it, that pink sugar really did come out. I melted this at night. I really do love it. So I'm really enjoying going back to some of the classic pink sugar bakery type scents. You know, love pink sugar and bakery blended together. This next one is Lavender Pink Sugar. Now, when I hauled this, I think I commented on the fact it does not smell like lavender or pink sugar to me. I like it. And so on warm, again, I was wondering, is this going to smell like lavender pink sugar? It does not. It does not smell like her herbal lavender. Like I have other lavender blends from her. I don't know what it is, but it's not lavender pink sugar. It smells good. It kind of has like a sweet bakery type note to it. So I don't know what's going on with this one. I don't get an herbal lavender and I don't really smell pink sugar. At first I thought maybe her pink sugar oil was different than the typical pink sugar, like it wasn't actually a dupe. But then I have other blends from her that have pink sugar that do smell like pink sugar. So something's up with this loaf. I like the way it smells. It's just not lavender pink sugar to me. I don't know. Let me know if you guys have that loaf, if you've melted it, if you've smelled it, if you think the same thing, or am I just crazy? Is my nose just, you know, not doing its job? This is Lavender Peppermint. Now this is truly Lavender Peppermint. You get that nice herbal lavender with that yummy icy cold peppermint. So I melted this, I think just one night. Love this, nice and strong, very herbal, very spa-like, very strong, minty. Love, love, love this one. So really enjoy that. And it's exactly what I expected. From Sassy Girl Aroma, I melted one night at the North Pole. This is sweet peppermint sticks with a creamy rich vanilla. On cold, that creamy rich vanilla is just beautiful. And she has a nice, sweet, creamy kind of candy cane peppermint is what this reminds me of. On warm, this is good. It's still really good. I still really like the scent. It's just not a powerhouse. I got this in December, so this should be pretty well cured. I definitely want to keep melting it more and exploring. I like the scent. I would like maybe a little bit more oomph from it on warm, but it's good. I can smell it. I think that maybe my nose like prefers a little bit stronger of a minty note. I'm not sure, but I do like that one. So this is Dessa's. I melted a little bit more of this sweet macerated strawberries, iced circus cookies Christmas tree. I love this blend. Again, this is back when she would do custom orders and I got this in a custom loaf. I just love that sweet strawberry with that like kind of creamy, sweet iced circus cookie. She has an amazing iced circus cookies and just a touch of that Christmas tree. This is not overpowering on the Christmas tree. I will say though that once the strawberry and iced circus cookie scent kind of dies out, that Christmas tree tends to linger a little bit more. But I love that blend. So, and it's a strong performer. I need to make sure I use it up in 2022 though. So I won't finish this before winter's over, but I'll carry some of it into this coming December, but that's okay. From Avas, I melted some of this Tiffany and the Grinch. This is buttery cupcakes, crushed mint and lemon peel with hints of white chocolate and cinnamon. This pretty much, so this is, I think it's cupcakes at Tiffany's. And then I mostly got cupcakes at Tiffany's with the mint. I didn't get any lemon peel or cinnamon. Really good scent though. This is a very strong performer. Lasted maybe 5-ish hours, so it wasn't too bad. It did fizzle out after a bit. But it was a good performer. I enjoyed it. I don't know that I feel like I'm like, oh my gosh, I need so much more of that, but it was good. From Teddy Bees, I melted some of this cupcakes by the campfire. This is cupcakes at Tiffany's, blueberry sugar, marshmallow fireside, and a hint of pine. This one, was it this one? Yes, this is the one that I think I was melting in the living room. This was the strongest of the scents I've melted from Teddy Bees from her last pre-order / ready to ship last year. So this was really good. Just a nice, beautiful, like bakery. I don't really think I was getting any of the pine on warm. I feel like her Christmas tree / pine, I think she goes very light on it in her blends. For me, I don't smell them most of the time when I'm warming. So that's not my preference. I prefer a little bit more kick of the pine because I want to smell that pine tree note in my wax blends. So I can't smell it in hers. And I think that's just how she pours her blends, which is fine. I'm sure I know other people like love her blends that have Christmas tree notes in them. I just don't really ever smell a Christmas tree. But this was a beautiful blend. It was a strong performer, which I was happy about. I also melted some of the Snuffle Puffs. This was Boardwalk Circus Cookies blended with peanut butter and jelly Bath & Body Works type. This one was on the lighter side. I could smell it. Let's see, I'm going to open it to see. Yeah, I feel like on cold I get a good mix of the Boardwalk Circus Cookies and the peanut butter and jelly Bath & Body Works type. But on warm I had a hard time kind of knowing what I was picking up. It definitely was not just... It was like a bakery with Boardwalk marshmallow clouds. I think that's what her Boardwalk Circus Cookies is. Is that like Boardwalk marshmallow cloud and circus cookies? My guess. That's my guess. I don't know that I was really smelling the peanut butter and jelly. Maybe a little bit. I am really interested in trying to get peanut butter and jelly from another vendor or just as a plain scent from a vendor that I know will throw strong so I can like see how it does. So this one was on the lighter side, maybe like a medium, like a 5, 6 out of 10. It was a good blend. I could smell it. I wish it was a little bit stronger and I could pick up the notes a little bit better, but it was good. This is Swanky Iconic Hard Candy, and this is Sweet on Paris, Pink Clouds of Spun Cotton Candy, and Sweet Fresh Pick Strawberry. So basically Sweet on Paris, strawberry, and cotton candy. This is good. I melted it one time in my room. I think I need to make sure I don't just keep getting Sweet on Paris, strawberry scents, Sweet on Paris, strawberry pound cake, you know, all those blends. I have quite a bit of those in my stash now. This is just a good kind of sweet strawberry bakery scent. So good, but nothing like, oh my gosh, amazing compared to other blends I've had from other vendors, if that makes sense. Let me see, I'm going to point my camera down a little bit. I just realized it was pointed up kind of high. Okay. From Vintage Road Candles, I melted some of this Twisted Misters, which is Twisted Peppermint and Mr. Gosling. Mr. Gosling is some kind of a masculine scent. I'm not sure what it is. I don't have the scent notes on that. This is definitely on the lighter side. The pour date is September 2018, so it is definitely getting lighter, but I can smell this. So I think I melted like a good amount of this kind of throughout my main living area. I could definitely smell it, but not as strong for a Twisted Peppermint, not as strong as like maybe you would hope, but good. I will definitely finish this, and maybe at some point down the road I will look at ordering again from Vintage Road Candles. I'm not in a hurry to do that, but I would like to at some point. Vintage Chic Scents, Grease is the Word, and the Black Cat. This is cake donuts with vanilla icing and sprinkles cider lane whipped cream. I did not get any of the cider lane when I was melting this. I was getting kind of just a light cake donuts with vanilla icing. So I definitely think, again, this is on the lighter side. I could smell it, but just not really strong. Definitely need to look at kind of using this up in the near future. From Swanky, I melted part of this Fresh Fall Breeze. First, I have to say, her wax slices so beautifully. Oh my gosh. It slices like butter, like right out of the fridge, right? So you need a little bit of pressure, but it slices so smooth and so clean, and you don't need to heat it or anything. I love it. This Fresh Fall Breeze is Sweater Weather, Fresh Sliced Pears, Mac Apple, and Falling Leaves. Definitely got the Sweater Weather. First of all, this was very strong. Melted it throughout my living room area. Very, very, very strong. Definitely got the Sweater Weather, but I got more to it. Like I couldn't necessarily like be like, oh, there's pear and there's apple, but it was like Sweater Weather plus more, right? Like more of a kind of fall outdoorsy type scent. So this was really good. I'm definitely not going to finish this up this kind of winter, so this will be carrying into the next fall. But it is definitely a good scent, and I really did enjoy it. I melted some more of this Christmas at Santa's. I melted this, I think, in my office. Pepperberry Wreath, Sugar Cookies, and Marshmallow Fireside. I do really like this scent. It definitely is a unique kind of Christmassy type scent compared to other vendors. So that Pepperberry Wreath, which I have not seen from another vendor, it does on cold have a very like green Christmas tree type scent. On warm though, it's very much more complex. It's not just like a Christmas tree. And the Sugar Cookie and Marshmallow Fireside is just so creamy and so delicious. This is just a beautiful scent. Throws like a solid like 8-ish out of 10, and then lasts like a good amount of time in the warmer. So like I think that lasted like all day for me in my office. This next one here, Strawberry Seduction from Southbound. I melted this in my office. This is Sweet Strawberry Frosting, Fresh Baked Sugar Cookies, Yellow Cake, and Fresh Picked Strawberry. So this is really just kind of like a sweet strawberry frosting type scent. I was not really getting much of the cookie note. Like I wasn't getting the baked cookie or the yellow cake. It was just like a sweet, creamy, decadent strawberry. It was good, but I do wish I got a little bit more of the bakery note in this one or the cookie note in this one. We'll see as it cures a little bit longer because I did just get this in January. I'm not as familiar with Southbound, how long it needs to cure, anything like that, but I did enjoy it. From Sassy Girl Aroma, this was a loaf my sister gave me. This is pink sugar, sugar cookie dough. Well, everything but her kitchen sink, which is pink sugar, sugar cookie dough, birthday cake, Twinkies, marshmallow, and vanilla butter fudge. It's basically like pink sugar and like a bakery blend. This was decent, so I could smell it for sure in my bedroom. I melted this in my bedroom bathroom. I could definitely smell it. It was maybe like a 6 or 7 out of 10. I could smell the pink sugar. It just wasn't really strong. There are other pink sugar blends that are stronger for me. This, my sister said she got last year sometime. I don't know how old it is though. And I don't pre-chop my loaves, one, because, I mean, if I pre-chop them, I pre-chop them when they're in a tin and I keep them in the tin. If they come as a naked loaf, I just slice off what I'm going to use as I use it. Because one, I don't like when the bags get so messy like this. And two, I worry that they're going to, the wax is going to lose scent quicker because there's just more exposed surface area of the wax. So I can't speak to whether or not that's why this one just didn't seem as strong. So it was not typical Sassy Girl Aroma strong. From Ebony Violet, I melted this Telltale Heart, Rosewater, and Ivy type, Vanilla Lace, and Vanilla Birch. This was a very beautiful scent. So I've always tried to avoid rose type scents. This Rosewater and Ivy type, I don't know what it's a type for, but this was a very beautiful floral type note or scent. The Vanilla Lace wasn't like super obvious in this, but I do think it added a little bit of like a creamy sweetness to it. And the Vanilla Birch just added a little bit of an outdoorsy note. So not one particular note stood out more than the other in this blend. It was a beautiful blend of all three scents. Nice strong throw, lasted the entire day. So far I've been really enjoying my Ebony Violet scents. And then Sugar Melts by Stacy. This is Easy Bake, which is just basically a vanilla bakery. Vanilla wafer, yellow cake, vanilla pudding. But there is something in this. One of her scent oils has more of like a spice to it. It's like not like cinnamon spice, but there's just like something more than just straight up vanilla. And I love it. I absolutely love this blend. It's such a unique vanilla bakery. Oh, it reminds me of like something actually baking. I don't know. It's just so good. And I have not smelled a blend, a vanilla bakery blend like this from another vendor. And her wax, for the most part, I've had really good performance from these loaves that I bought in a D-stash. I have not melted as much of the wax that I hauled from like my purchase from her ready to ship. So I'm kind of letting that cure a little bit, even though she says no cure time. And then I'll melt more. But these loaves, for the most part, have performed really, really well. Okay, and then last but not least, I melted some of this loaf from L3 Raspberry Jam Mrs. Claus cookies. So I guess I discovered my love for raspberry jam type scents because of Kirby's Vintage Chic Scents Winchell's, which is a raspberry jam donut, I think, blend. And I've talked about this before. I always avoided raspberry scents because they always were like floral or like perfumey, and I wanted like a true like fruity sweet raspberry, right? So Kirby's Winchell's was the first time I melted a raspberry jam scent, and then I loved it. So I saw this, I was like, okay, I have to get it. And I know I love Mrs. Claus cookies. So I was very curious to see, was this gonna smell like Vintage Chic scents? And again, when I compare vendors, it's never with any intent to say buy from this vendor and not that vendor. I mean, if you love wax, most of us all buy from multiple vendors, and when we find out two vendors have the same scent oil and we love it, we buy from both, right? It doesn't generally keep us from buying one or the other. So I was very curious to see how this might compare to Kirby's. On cold, when I first hauled this, I thought, okay, I think it's similar, and I went from memory, but then I commented that I thought it was sweeter. Now that I've actually melted it, I absolutely think this is a sweeter strawberry jam than Kirby scent, than Vintage Chic scents, at least to my nose. So I feel like Kirby's is sweet, but it has a little bit more complexity to it, and I feel like you get a little bit more of the seeds and the like pulp from the raspberry. This I feel like is more of just a very sweet raspberry without the seeds, like almost like a raspberry, what do you call it? So jam, when you have all the seeds and stuff, like this pulp from the fruit versus like a jelly. It's probably more like a raspberry jelly to my nose, okay? So, and I didn't, when I warmed this, I didn't get any of the Mrs. Claus cookies. I can't smell it at all. It's one of my favorite like cookie scents out there, but I could not smell it. So I'm very curious to try this raspberry jam with other bakery blends that are a little bit more intense, like a zucchini bread, like with a warm vanilla sugar. I did request a couple scent blends from L3 for her next restock. We'll see if she makes any of them. I do see on her website she had a couple other raspberry jam bakery blends available too in Loaves, and she is doing a 25% off sale. I have no idea if any of those Loaves are still available. I was tempted to buy, but I was like, I really need to not buy. I really want to wait because I did request a couple scents from her with raspberry jam. I was like, I really want to wait and see if she pours any of those and buy those. So at least for now, my verdict is this is not the same as Vintage Chic Scents. It is still very good, but it's definitely a very sweet raspberry jam. And I definitely, for my nose, I prefer to have it with a little bit more amped up bakery. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. If you're interested though, I recommend trying to get it and see and compare for yourself. Everyone's noses are different. Some of us think things are very similar. Some of us might think they're very different. So maybe try it in a smaller portion. See if she will pour some in a smaller portion. We shall see. Because I think a couple of the raspberry jam scents I requested, I asked for in bougie bars, which are small. So keep an eye out for her next restock to see if she pours any of those. So that's everything I melted this past week. This is quite a long video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you soon. Bye.